this episode of the Ask Katrina Show, I'm going to be telling you the number one way, actually 3 easy steps, how you can stop the diet overwhelm once and for all and stick to the plan. Hi, my name is Katrina Sequenzia and I am with healthyfreelife.com and I am your health coach. And in these Ask Katrina shows, I answer your questions about your health and your food and any questions that you might have. I am answering them on the Ask Katrina Show. And so what I want to do is I want to answer Catherine's question today. And Catherine asks, how do you stop the diet overwhelm and end up giving up and go back to old habits? So how do you stop the diet overwhelm, right? And trust me, I can totally understand. And so here's what I want to know. In the comments below, I want to know what overwhelms you the most when you are thinking about starting a new diet or starting to eat healthy. What overwhelms you the most? Is it the thought of having to clear out your pantry? Is it the thought of all the preparation? Is it the thought of the extra expense to buy all the foods that need to be purchased? And so I want to know in the comments below, what overwhelms you the most when it comes to that? So I can totally relate because it just recently, probably in January of this year, my husband and I embarked on a new juicing diet. We had a couple of things health-wise that we were trying to overcome, and so we're always looking for ways to upgrade our health. And so we tried a juicing diet where we juiced for 15 days and we incorporated some only fruits and veggies, and that was it for 15 days. And it was very overwhelming. My husband wanted to start it like on January 1, and I was like, no way, we're not starting this juice diet on January 1. I knew it was going to be overwhelming. And so instead, what we did is we had to delay it, and then the preparation to make the grocery list and go grocery shopping, it was hundreds of dollars more than what it should have been in my normal weekly budget, and it was very overwhelming. I was spending 4 hours a day at least in the kitchen preparing. So I can totally relate to that overwhelming feeling. And then honestly, how sustainable is that, right? 15 days, okay, I can do it for 15 days. But is it a lifetime thing? Absolutely not. So going back to old habits is definitely something that can happen when we get to overwhelm. So Christy says, hi Christy. Christy says, expense and time for prep. I can totally relate. I just did that as well. So here are your 3 easy steps, okay? We're going to keep this simple, ways for you to not be overwhelmed with the thought of dieting or the thought of getting healthy and being free. Okay, so step number 1 is I want you to go back to episode 1 of the Ask Katrina Show if you haven't already seen it. And in that episode, I share with you that we need to first focus on our health and not focus on dieting. Guys, we just need to ditch the diet, okay? We need to get off the diet roller coaster once and for all, and we need a new way of looking at food and specifically looking at our health, because as we focus on our wellness, then if weight loss is a goal for you, or more energy is a goal for you, or reversing or preventing disease is a goal for you, that can be accomplished when we really focus on our health. And when we focus on the foods and the nutrient density of our foods, those 2 things are vital. And that is how you're going to get off that diet roller coaster, not be overwhelmed, is really get really clear on what your intentions are. So my intention for my health is to radiate health, is to prevent disease. And honestly, I do all of this because I want to live out the purpose that God has given me to my fullest. And I know that this body is required to go ahead and do that. So without a healthy body that radiates health and feels amazing and is free from disease, then I'm not going to be able to fully live out the purpose that God has given me. And so when I understand that I'm focusing on my health for the glory of God, then I don't have to be overwhelmed any longer. And that is your first step to the diet overwhelm. And number 2 is that I would like for you to begin taking baby steps, right? Going back to that January diet, that juicing diet that I talked about earlier in the video, where it was an all-encompassing diet, right? It was surely not baby steps. I should have done it very differently, where I began adding in the juices slowly and began to add that process in. But what happens is that we just went all in, and it was not a baby step. So therefore it was not sustainable for my health. Hi, Kaylin, nice to see you here. So if you wanted to answer the question to this episode, is what is overwhelming you when you think about healthy eating and starting a new diet? What would overwhelm you in your past or currently when you think about that? So definitely answer that in the comments if you haven't already. And so we're taking baby steps, okay? So baby steps are one at a time. We begin to incorporate things, and we need to not master, but become really good at that first baby step and the second baby step, because then we begin to build momentum. And as we build momentum, then the change will be lasting. We don't have to worry about not sticking to it or falling off the wagon, okay? I want you to know that baby steps are going to be key. And so let me give you an example here. I have somebody in my current program. She's a current student of mine in a 30-day cleanse program. Her name is Tammy Grab. And this is what she has to say about baby steps, and specifically as it relates to my philosophy. And she says, Katrina, I love that you have such a realistic view of taking baby steps and sustaining the changes. Then more baby steps to improved health. Diets and programs that suggest I throw everything out in my pantry and start over are just overwhelming, unrealistic, and very discouraging. Your approach is refreshing. Thank you. So that leads into step number 3. How are we going to get over this diet overwhelm? Step number 3 is I want you to take baby steps and upgrade your pantry. Okay, we're going to begin upgrading your pantry. And we don't have to go in there like she says. That's just overwhelming, and it's wasteful to go in, clear out the pantry. Okay, instead what we're going to do is we're going to be adding in glorious foods that bring health, that bring energy. We're going to do that one at a time. And so in today's episode, if you look below, there's a link for today's download. I want you to, after this video, follow that link. I want you to go grab your Upgrade Your Pantry download. And in here, I go through exactly step by step how to begin the process of upgrading your pantry. Because again, we don't have to do it all at one time. And we surely don't need to go from the instead of column all the way to the best column. So let me describe this to you, this download that's there. And this is coming right out of my health coaching programs. It's a freebie that is truly valuable. I want you to go grab it. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at this instead of column. And this is a column where your pantry and your refrigerator might currently have these things. So you might currently be eating white bread in your home, and I want you to consider upgrading that. And we're going to go, instead of white bread, I want you to upgrade to 100% whole wheat bread. And so you're going to move over to that column, and I'm going to give you some really good examples here in a minute. I have some live demonstrations, so hang tight with me. But if you are already eating white bread, I want you to come over here to the best column. And I know this is backwards, but I think you get the idea. So we have Ezekiel bread or going to whole grains, and I go into detail about why we need to do that. And so you're going to begin moving over one at a time. Now, this is a very big list, and we're not going to tackle this all at one time. We're going back to baby steps. So I want you to download this, print this out, put this on your refrigerator, or put it where you do your menu planning, your grocery list making. And I want you to begin to add in these foods, these upgraded foods, one at a time. Okay, just one at a time. 1 week, you're going to upgrade. And what we're going to do, so here's an example. So I talked about the white bread, right? So if you are currently consuming white bread in your home, I want you to go ahead and consider upgrading to the 100% whole wheat bread. And if you wanted to upgrade from here, we would select an organic version of this, okay? So if you are already consuming whole wheat bread, organic 100% whole wheat bread, then I'd like for you to upgrade to Ezekiel bread. Ezekiel bread. It's found in the frozen section of your grocery store. Sometimes it's on the shelf, but for me, it's always been found in the frozen section. So I want you to upgrade to this or upgrade to whole grains. And it really can be simple. So here's another example, okay? If you are consuming white flour, or white sugar rather, in your home, I want for you to upgrade, okay? And we're going to upgrade to an organic version of sugar, okay? This is 100% organic, and it's fair trade, and it's non-GMO. It is organic, so we know that it's non-GMO as well, which is really important because sugar is now a GMO product, so we definitely want to look for non-GMO. So that's what you want to upgrade. Now, if you're already consuming organic sugar, then we want to go and we want to move to natural sweeteners. So we want to move to something like 100% maple syrup, or we want to consume raw honey, things like that, or stevia. So maybe we want to get off the sugar altogether. So that is an option as well. And I'll give you one more little demonstration here. And that is if you are consuming standard table salt, if this is still in your pantry, I would like for you to upgrade to sea salt. And sea salt comes in many forms, so you can look for sea salt. Now, the best brand, so you can find another brand of sea salt, or rock salt is another, Himalayan rock salt is another great example. But Celtic sea salt is what I would like for you to upgrade to, or the rock Himalayan salt, the pink salt that you find on the shelf. So that is something that I'd like for you to upgrade. And so that's what I'm talking about. Now, I just shared 4 of them with you, right? That can be very overwhelming. I want you to pick one this week that you can add in. And yes, I understand going from I think 88 cents to, $4 or $5 for sea salt. That can be expensive. And so what I want you to understand is I get the budget constraints, that it can be more costly to eat healthy. And that's why if we just add it in one at a time, we are not going to overwhelm our budget with that. And slowly, one at a time, as those things get added in, then what begins to happen is it doesn't go up very much, but as we begin to experience the health that comes from all of these healthy choices one by one, we are going to be able to experience the energy, the weight loss, whatever it is you might be feeling from eating healthy. And now the things that are in your grocery cart that no longer serve you, those are going to begin exiting your grocery cart, okay? Because you're going to be realizing the benefits of truly eating and living healthy, okay? So be sure to download this freebie, the Upgrade Your Pantry freebie, so that you can know exactly where to begin to go down the list, and you're going to begin upgrading your health. It's all about the upgrades. So Kaylin says, I love Himalayan pink salt. Me too. Me too. I actually had a former client of my husband who gave us gifts of huge bags of Himalayan salts right from the Himalayas. It was amazing. When I ran out of that gift, I was so devastated, but I totally love Himalayan salt as well. And so Christy says, I thought I was Mrs. Healthy, and boom, Katrina upgrades, and I'm making healthier changes. And Christy, doesn't it feel amazing? You actually want to continue those, and you don't want to fall off the wagon. And so that's the beauty of this as well, as we're taking baby steps and these become very much a part of who we are. Then what happens is when life does happen and we get off course a little bit, we fall off the wagon, for lack of better terms, we fall off the wagon, right? And we're focused on something else. The beauty is if you have a step-by-step system that walks you through how to add these baby steps in, you will know exactly what to do to get back on track. And that's the beauty of my health coaching programs, is that I provide a system to add in these baby steps, and you'll always know, not just now, but always know in the future exactly what you need to do to get your health back on track. So, Kaylin, you are welcome for this resource. I'm so glad. Go ahead and head over to the link that's below and grab that there so that you can begin to upgrade and yourself. So, that is the answer to your question, Catherine. I'm so glad that you asked the question. Now, if you have questions for future Ask Katrina shows, so if you have a question about your health or a question about food, then I would love for you to comment below, ask your question, and it may be featured on an Ask Katrina show in the future. So thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.